Hey guys, welcome to Great Learning. My name is Anirudh Rao and I'll be your instructor for this live session on Python for non-programmers. But then guys, before we go on to begin with this session, can I get a quick confirmation from all of you all if you can hear me fine and if you can see my screen fine, right? Just quickly head to the chat box, just put in a quick yes if you can see me fine and hear me fine. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to this session on Python for non-programmers. While you guys go on to put the comment down to see if I'm audible or not, I'm just showing you that I'm monitoring all the comments on my mobile phone. So as always, this is going to be a highly interactive session. It's going to be a lot of question and answers, I suppose, because most of you guys who might be joining this session will not know a lot about Python, right? We're trying to take an approach to understand it from the non-programmer perspective today. All right, I have a lot of yeses here. Kashyap says yes. Rajnandini, Ankam, Anjan Musafir. Okay, guys, perfect. Okay, I have a lot of yeses. I see a lot of excited audience here. Guys, welcome to the session. Now, before we go on to dive into the agenda of the session, let me take a minute of your time to guide you about this beautiful venture we have here at Great Learning called as Great Learning Academy. Now, Great Learning Academy is one of those, one of these ventures we have here that's going to immensely help you in your career if you guys are looking forward for free courses. Now, we have 200 plus free courses in multiple different domains here. All of these are absolutely free of cost. So you can log in and sign up for free. You can find a course of your choice for free. You can sign up, you can get into it, you can start learning, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this course, again, you have a free certificate of completion that's going to add so much value to you, not only your education but also to your resume, right? Now that we're actually taking a look at Python, here's a very nice highlight for all the people who keep asking us saying, hey, can you make courses in multiple languages? Again, as you can see, we do have Python programming courses and of course a couple of other courses done in Hindi as well. So if you're a person who's looking forward to learning Python in Hindi, we have a course for you. And if you want to learn it in English, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we have a course for that as well. So we usually provide 3 levels of courses here: the beginner courses, the intermediate levels of difficulty courses, and of course the advanced courses. So depending on where you are in your learning phase right now, I would suggest you start with one. Now, for example, this session is going to be in English, so let me just pick up one of these English programs here, right? Python for machine learning. Now, as soon as you click on it, you will see that the course cost is free. It's a beginner level course, and you have somewhere around 126,000 people who have learned using this course as well, right? So as you can take a look at it, you can take a look at all the skills that are covered, all the course syllabus, and this is the certificate I was mentioning, ladies and gentlemen. This will this is a very important thing. As you can see, it's not only to showcase that you have learned something new, but at the end of the day, if you're putting it up on your LinkedIn, if you're putting it up anywhere on your resume or whatever it is going to help you stand out in this world of immense competition, right? You can see you can take a look at all the discussions we have for all of these courses as well. You can get all the detail there is to know about it, and it's completely free, even to the point where you will get a certificate of completion. It is absolutely free, ladies and gentlemen. So I highly suggest you check out Great Learning Academy. You can take a look at all the upcoming live sessions that we have here, and of course at the end of the day, you can reach the Great Learning Academy from multiple different places, the web browser being the most simple one. We also have the Great Learning app. Now we know that a lot of you all tune in from your mobile phones, from your tablets and whatnot. So we do have an app both on the Android ecosystem, of course on the Android Play Store, and of course on the Apple App Store as well. So depending on what device you guys are using, you guys can tune in and join our sessions, and of course learn all of these courses from the app itself, right guys? All right, perfect. Now this was Great Learning Academy. I can promise you one thing here is that no matter where you are in your career, you will have something in Great Learning Academy that you can use. You can pick up all the 200 courses if you want, if that is what I mean. Of course not everyone would learn everything, but if you're a person who would want to do that, hey, you have the choice. It's all about providing the highest quality of learning material for free for you all, right? All right guys, super. Make sure you guys have subscribed to the Great Learning YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any of these updates. And I'm excited for this session, and I hope you guys take a quick second to like the video. It shows a lot of appreciation for us and showcases that you guys are looking forward for more of this content, right? Perfect, guys. On that note, let's get started with the agenda of the session. Now, in this session, we mostly taking a look at understanding what Python is and of course why we have to even learn Python. I'm sure you guys understand the popularity of it, so we're going to take a detailed look at that. And we're going to take a look at the skills that you actually need to get started with Python itself. Right now, it's a very important step that you guys have to take to know how should you approach the language as a non-programmer and how you should go on to learn it. Right, so we're going to discuss all those skills that you guys can start working on and start building upon, and we're going to check out some of the most popular Python libraries that are out there. These libraries, if you don't know what they mean, they are like frameworks. They are like these snippets of code, snippets of blocks, which will make your life a lot easier as a programmer. So there are Python, in fact, is so popular because it has thousands of libraries. So we're going to take a look at some of them. I'm going to tell you where they're used, why they're so popular and all of that. And of course, at the end of it, guys, we are going to discuss the Python developer's salary as well. So I'm sure as non-programmers or a person coming in from a different background, you guys might be curious about the salary that a Python developer earns, right? So we're going to take a look at all of these details and a lot more on this live session, right? Perfect. Now, let's actually get started with a quick did you know. Alright, the first thing, the most important thing that you guys have to know is that Python is the world's most popular programming language right now. Now, there's many ways that you can say it. Python is the #1 language, Python is the top language, it's the most popular language, whatever it is, right? Now, why is this the case? At the end of the day, when you're taking a look at it, Python is just extensively used in all of these different domains that you guys can think of, right? If you watch, your favorite TV shows or movies on Netflix or Amazon Prime, you guys are making use of Python in one way or another, right? And of course, did you guys also know that the name, right? Python. Now, as soon as when someone says Python, I think the first thing for a non-programmer that might, the thought that might come up is definitely about the snake, right? Well, it wasn't actually the case of how Python was named. Python was named based on a on a TV show. It was called a show called as Monty's Python Circus. It is an amazing show. It's a very old show, and that is how the developer of Python, the inventor of Python, went to actually go on to name it. And of course, you guys might already be aware of the buzzword data science, I presume. So if you're a person who knows the term data science, I am sure you will also know that Python is an analogous to data science, right? So whenever someone talks about data science, people usually talk about Python because data science is probably the #1 domain in the entire world right now, and Python has a huge contribution for that domain and its success as well, right? Perfect. The next point that you really have to know about Python, or that you might already know, is that there's thousands and thousands of companies across the globe who make use of Python in one way or another, right? Now, if we have people who have tuned into this live session using Mozilla Firefox browser, it has somewhere around 200,000 lines of code written in Python to make the browser actually work, right? Well, you guys are using Python here as well. And probably when work from home ends, you guys have to take cabs back to office or to your schools or colleges or whatever it is. When you book a cab, right, the data is shared between the driver, and the client using Python as well. How amazing is that, right? Of course. And one more thing is that an important point, I'm sure all of you guys are excited for this particular point, is that there are a lot of high-paying jobs if you guys become proficient Python developers. So if you put in a good amount of time to learn all of these concepts, definitely, no matter where you are in the world, India, USA, UK, the European Union, wherever you guys are, you definitely can expect amazing jobs. Especially now, guys, during the pandemic, programming jobs have gone up by a sheer large number. Now, the advantage for you guys here is that since majority of the world is still working from home, you can actually go on to apply for a job which is probably halfway across the world, and hey, you might still land it. Previously, they might have been looking forward to hiring only people from their particular city, country, or whatever it is. Now your chances are open, right? So what do you guys go on to think about this? Makes sense, right? Right now I think it's really high time that a lot of you all who have thought about starting out with Python do, right? Perfect. Now, to discuss about why one should even go on to learn Python, why explore Python, right? The first most reason that I can give you is that the entire world, be it learners, be it individual contributors, be it companies, be it anyone in the entire world, everyone is literally searching for Python for one thing or another, to learn, to use, to develop whatever it is, right? So this happens to be the most searched programming language, and this is on multiple platforms, right? See, whenever we go on to search for something, what do? We usually go to Google and we search. If you're looking for a video, you go to YouTube and you search and all of that. But there are other video platforms, there are other search engines where even there Python is extremely popular. It is supposedly the most searched programming language, right? So when you take a look at the rise in interest of how Python is becoming so popular, right? Now, I think the crowd started looking towards Python very seriously from the year 2012 or 11, if I believe. And right then and there is when, of course, we were already working on Python, and we look at it, the entire world wants to do it now. They realize that it's really easy compared to all the other programming languages out there for a plethora, for a multiple amount of reasons. But at the end of the day, what you really have to take a look at is this graph just keeps increasing and increasing, right? The graph that you see on your screen right now is just constantly going up. It showcases that there's a lot more people, be it from a technical background, be it from a non-technical background as well, right? These guys are looking towards Python. Maybe you're starting out to learn, maybe you're a beginner, or you're a person who's a thorough expert in C++ and now you want to learn Python, right? So this kind of a steep interest in Python, when everyone wants to do it, of course, it creates a trend, and once there's something trending, it just gives more reason and adds more power to people's belief on the programming language itself. Now, to give you more reasons of why you guys should definitely consider learning Python as probably your first programming language, or as a general programming language as well, is that no matter what domain you can think of, it is used everywhere. In the case of web development as well, right? So we have multiple web development frameworks. We have Flask, we have Django, we have so many different frameworks which will help you completely provide a solution in the domain of web development. If that wasn't enough, take a look at big data. Again, we have multiple aspects where you can take a look at Apache Foundation. Apache Foundation is very popular for big data, and now combining with Python, for example, when you take a look at multiple offerings such as PySpark and all of these things, it's a programming language to provide support for the already existing world of big data, right? That's possible. And for all the gamers in the house, I'm sure, hey guys, we have 75 people who have joined in this particular session. I am sure you guys, some of you guys must have played some games, right? So even, if you take a look at understanding how games are developed as well, and even here with all your very famous 2D, 3D graphical engines, Python actually has to do something there as well. So it's not just Python is playing a small role in all of these domains that you see on your screen right now. It's just that Python has a really huge impact on these domains, right? So you can completely get a game done and you can play with it with Python. There are libraries, there are frameworks for that, right? Now, if this wasn't enough, of course we have more. If you guys are very interested in working towards UI UX elements, user interactive app building, or if you guys are looking towards increasing the user experience, making a better user experience of an already existing product, well, guess what, you can do that as well. And last point, I don't think I have to talk about data science, right guys? Because for everyone who's tuned in, I am sure you guys you already know how big data science is and how big Python is in the field of data science as well, right? So talking about jobs, you just have 5, 6, and these are just 5 or 6 small domains that I'm talking about among hundreds. So your portfolio, your job profile is literally open to a lot of domains. You can expect to be a Python developer even in the case, even in the domain of healthcare. How amazing is that, right? So there's a lot of things you have to understand about the language itself. The first most important thing is how Python can help you solve a small problem and how Python can help you solve a big problem, right? In the case of Python being an interpreted language, it ensures that you're running your code every single line at a time, where, see, what happens in other languages such as C programming language or C++ is that whenever there is an error, the program will absolutely not run unless you correct the the error, recompile the program and rerun it, right? In the case of Python, that's not it. In an interpreted programming language, probably if there's an error on line number 10, everything until line number 9 will perfectly execute. In fact, even 10 will execute, just that it understands it's an error and it will not give you a valid output, right? So your program is not just stopping and telling you, hey, fix the result or I will not run. No, it is running until the point of the error, and later you can fix the error and continue the execution, right? That's one point. The second point is that it's a very easy to learn programming language. When you take a look at other languages, other syntax and all of that. Now, if we have people here who have never worked with a programming language, if I just tell you in English what cin or what cout or what stdio, conio, what all of these terms mean, you might not know it, right? Of course, if you work with programming languages such as C or C++, you definitely will know it. But at the end of the day, if you do not, well, you don't know. Now, in the case of Python, I can just say Python, just print whatever I want. Hello, Anirudh from Great Learning, right? If I just print it, and when you, as a beginner, when you take a look at the Python syntax, you can understand it if you know English. That is how easy it is to get started, right? And the third point when you take a look at it is it's built for dynamism. Today, you're working on a beginner project. Maybe 1 year from now, you are a complete expert in Python, so you'll have to be working on a lot of complex things. So should you relearn Python, right? Not really in that case. Python is a language where you can equally put in a good amount of effort for your small case projects and of course your industry level projects as well. So your learning, if you do it once, if you do it right, it is more than enough, guys, right? And the fourth thing I think is the most common point of all of these is that it's open source. You have thousands of libraries and the entire world of Python programming is free. So to use Python programming language, you do not have to pay anyone a penny, right? It's completely free to use. But of course, you should definitely consider, putting some money down on maybe post-graduation programs or maybe specializations where you're trying to become an expert. But to actually use Python, it definitely does not cost any money, right? And as I told you, it comes with a really huge library, and it's not just the library that we have to talk about, it's the community. Right now, we have 77 people watching this live session right now. So to an already existing community of hundreds of thousands of developers, well, I see that all of you 77 people joining here can also add a lot of value. It's a very friendly community. There's a lot of people who are very helpful whenever you're learning, so they keep developing the product to make it more easier and efficient, right? So that's an important thing. And the next point is that it's very easy to read. The syntax itself is amazingly easy to read. You don't have to put a lot of effort, and we call it as a strongly typed programming language. So a strongly typed programming language will understand the type of data that it sees automatically. Now if I input something to Python like 1 2 3 4 5, well, what is 1 2 3 4 5? It is a number, right? It's an integer. Python will automatically understand this. With other programming languages, you have to specifically say, hey, I am entering an integer. Here are the integers. With Python, no, you just enter it, and Python is intelligent enough to understand what you have entered. 1 2 3 ABC, whatever it is, right? Perfect. Now, to talk about an important section of the skills that are needed to learn Python, just before which, let me pick up questions, right? So Nanika asked the question, I too am a beginner. How much time should I take to reach a decent level in Python? Well, that's a fabulous question, Nanika. Now, to go on to answer this, I think it would definitely be upon what you're willing to, what's your goal in Python, right? Now, some people will definitely want to master the language to a point where they can solve any problem, or people are looking towards maybe going towards data science, towards machine learning, towards web development, right? So the first thing is that you have to hone in on what it is that you want to do, and based upon that you can have a timeline. But to clear all the fundamentals, I think definitely a good 12-hour course or 11-hour course is definitely something that you can use to get started with all of these. And as you can check out on the Great Learning channel itself, on the Great Learning YouTube channel itself, I have created a 11-hour comprehensively put together tutorial teaching everything there is to know about the basics of the concepts, such as how Python is used in data science and all of that. You'll find the video. Of course, to do that you guys have to be subscribed as well. So I hope that answers your question, Nanika. Depending on what it is that you want to do, somewhere from 12 hours all the way to 6 months or more is definitely what I would suggest, right? Shubhansh says Python is very easy, but I don't like easy. Well, why is the case, Shubhansh? When you take a look at it, honestly, in terms of how you work on complex solutions, I believe easier the programming language, it's going to add a lot of, it's going to add a lot of value to your learning as well, right? So I hope that answers your question. Right, guys, give me 1 second. Now, picking up more of your question here, guys. Make sure you guys are putting your comments down. Let me open up YouTube. It just got minimized. Perfect. Arul has an interesting question. Are there jobs for pure Python programmers? Arul, fantastic question. Yes. To be a vanilla Python programmer, as we call it, as I told you, you can be a part of any different domain. If you know the bare bones structure of how Python works and how you can use it better, you can use the same skill to definitely learn new libraries and work with it. And that is exactly what we are going to check out now, Arul, right? Perfect. So what are some of the important skills that are needed to learn Python? Well, I think the first most important skill you have to have is knowing that, when you learn a programming language, you have to always look towards how you can be in a data oriented approach kind of things, like how can you approach this programming language, understanding the result itself, right? The result oriented approach. So that is one important thing. The second thing is that you guys will require out of the box thinking skills, which I think is needed for any programming language, not just Python. But for Python, since it is an easy programming language, a lot of people are trying to solve same problems. Your problem, if it is more efficient than the others, it is a highlight, right? The third skills that you guys have to note down about is logic building skills, ladies and gentlemen. You guys definitely have to work on how you can connect two different points, how you can work with it easily, how you can understand, what goes on in the domain itself, right? It's a very important thing. Now, the fourth thing is the ability for you guys to learn new things quickly. As I told you, maybe today you're joining in and you're working as a Python developer in one domain in data science. Maybe tomorrow, if you're looking towards web development, you have to learn a new library to get there, right? So for that, you have to have the ability to learn quickly. So I hope those skills are, you guys noted it down. It's very, very important. And, to add on to all of these skills that we just discussed, I think it becomes very important to showcase how you guys should get started with Python, right? The first step in any programming language that you guys should be learning about is, what you guys should be learning about is the fundamentals, right? It's a very, very important first step here. It just becomes so important that you know that your foundations are strong. And guys, you only tell me what happens if your foundation is not strong, right? So when you learn later, maybe you are learning for 2 months, 3 months or something, later it becomes so complex that if your foundation is not strong, it's like a building. If your foundation is not strong, it's going to collapse if you just keep building, right? So make sure your foundation in Python is really, really strong. Understand how the language works. Know why Python does things the way it does, right? Let me repeat that. Know why Python does the way, does the things in the way that it does, and you guys will definitely get a lot of knowledge about the domain, right? Now, once you understand the programming language, the next thing is you have to pick your domain. As I've been telling you, there are so many things that you have to do with Python that you can do. You can be working in healthcare. You can look towards even an aspect of digital marketing with Python. You can look towards data analysis, data science, data visualization, web development, game development, user interface development. You know it, right? So guys, just find out what is the most interesting domain that you want to spend your time and effort on learning. Once you have done that, once you have had a clear understanding of that, then you guys can pick a domain and work on that, right? Perfect. The third important thing of whenever you're learning Python as a non-programmer approach is to learn these concepts called as data structures. Now, data structures are these structured entities where we store data, we use it, we manipulate it and everything. It forms to be the heart of data, as we call it, right? So knowing data structures, now if you guys have actually given interviews for Python or any other programming language, you're mostly quizzed on data structures, if you know, right? These are considered to be difficult questions, because the interviewer here is trying to understand your proficiency in data structures. They want to know how good you are with your learning, right? So data structures is a very, very important thing. And once you've learned data structures, I think the next thing to do definitely is to take a look at the other domains or venture out to people who have done something with Python, right? Now, if you're in your office environment itself, right, talk to your managers, talk to your peers, or talk to friends, join in online programming communities, just find out what it is that people are doing. Now, the popularity of Python for data science came in the same way. There were publicly available data sets which people took up as challenges and they were solving it, right? So when you're talking to an expert, for example, you're tuned into my session, I am a subject matter expert in Python, data science, artificial intelligence, deep learning, cloud computing, all these concepts. So at the end of the day, whenever you're talking to us, whenever you're tuning to our sessions here at Great Learning, it will ensure that you guys are learning something new, which is directly in a line with what the industry expects as well. So it's a huge advantage for all of you all, right? Now, as I told you, the fun way to learn a programming language, I think, is to take up this practice programming challenges, right? You have multiple websites where you can go on to practice Python programming. An important site, in my opinion, that you guys definitely should check out is Kaggle, right? Kaggle is a beautiful place where programmers come together, they share their code, they share programming challenges, they try to see who solves it quickest. It's an amazing thing. Sometimes there are really good prizes there to be won as well. So I highly suggest you guys push yourself, right? Don't just keep doing the same thing again and again. You will not learn anything new. Find something hard, find a way to do it, find a way to make that easy, and then repeat this all over again. Right, guys? Perfect. Now, once you do all of this, the next step definitely in the way is to make sure you guys are learning for your interviews, or you're preparing for your interviews and showcasing to the world, or with your resume or with your profile, that you are there to innovate something with Python, right? With this, preparing for a job, again, we have a section on Great Learning Academy which will completely help you with job preparation. So use it, use all the tools, use everything that we here are providing for you guys to make sure you have a fantastic learning experience, and of course which will help you with your job prep as well, right? So guys, to quickly discuss some of the most popular Python libraries, these are some things that you guys definitely should know about if you're working with Python. NumPy and Pandas is very popular if you guys are looking towards numerical computation, and if you guys are looking for data structures of how you would work with really complex multi-dimensional data, well, you guys definitely should look towards NumPy and Pandas. And then when you're expanding to the world of artificial intelligence, right, Python is so popular because it is considered as the future programming language where we're trying to bring in as much AI as possible. So we have multiple packages here such as TensorFlow, PyTorch, Scikit-learn, there's Keras, there is so many other packages that you guys can look towards as well. So these are the names which you guys might have heard of, in my opinion, right? And then when you're taking a look at data visualization side of things, right, so in creating beautiful looking graphs, dashboards, and all of that, you have two beautiful packages here, Matplotlib and Seaborn, that adds a lot of value there, right? Guys, now coming to a section where all of you guys are waiting for, you're very curious about, is the Python developer salary, I'm sure, and the numbers are absolutely fantastic, guys. Look at your screen right now. An associate Python developer, a person who starts his or her career as a Python developer, will get an average salary of around 6 lakhs per annum in India, with an average salary of somewhere around $66,000 in the US. A senior Python developer, maybe with 2 or 3 years of experience, you'll get somewhere around 10 lakhs per annum, and of course $97,000. Right now, this figure is really amazing. This is considered by taking in the lower average and the higher average as well, right? So we squished both to get this value. So there is so much more to look towards in the numbers as well. And I think the goal for a Python developer would definitely to be like a lead project developer or something. And once you get to that stage, you'll have a very handsome package somewhere north of 20 lakhs per annum, 30 lakhs per annum, even 40 lakhs per annum, right? In the USA, again, the salary is fantastic. Everything above $115,000, it goes all the way to $180,000, $190,000 for a lead project developer as well. So guys, in terms of salary, in terms of requirement, in terms of what's needed around the world right now, I am sure you guys got a very good clarity about that. The salary is amazing, thousands of job openings. I highly suggest you guys definitely work towards that, right? Now with this, guys, for a lot of free content, I'm sure you guys are aware of Great Learning Academy. Now you can use Great Learning Academy, you can go on to make use of the Great Learning YouTube channel, and of course we have Great Learning blogs that you you guys can use of for your learning as well, right? Again, we have multiple post graduation programs here at Great Learning. If you are very serious about shaping up your career in the world of programming, we have multiple courses which are in multiple different domains, multiple programs, right? Now, for example, as I told you, Python is very popular for data science or artificial intelligence or something like that, right? Now, in this particular case, we have postgraduate programs which is ranked number one. In the number one data science program. We have multiple reasons of why these programs are number one as well. You can take a look at the syllabus, you can take a look at the project, you can take a look at the capstone, the final project that you guys will be working on, faculties, mentors. You'll be learning from the best of the best, ladies and gentlemen. So I highly suggest, if you're very serious about a career, it doesn't have to be data science, it doesn't have to be artificial intelligence, right? So we have a plethora of programs that you guys definitely should explore. We have the classroom learning over the weekends, and we have the online classrooms as well. So depending on what it is, right, hybrid learning, whatever it is that you want, I highly suggest you get in touch with our experts. We have a live chat where you can talk to our experts. Program advisors are here to make sure that you guys have an uninterrupted access to the highest quality of learning materials possible. That is our aim here at Great Learning. And be it Great Learning Academy or be it our post graduation program, we hold the same standard everywhere, guys. So if you guys are looking to become complete experts, when you guys are going in from beginners, I highly suggest you check out all the programs we have here at Great Learning, guys. So guys, let me take in one or two questions and we can wind up the session, right? RM Azam says, on what basis you will issue certification? Well, Azam, we're giving you a certificate of completion when you go on to learn something in Great Learning Academy. So make sure you check out Great Learning Academy. Once you complete it, you'll have a quiz that you have to complete, and based on that, you'll be assessed, and of course, you'll be given a certificate of completion that says you picked up this course and you completed the same, right? Perfect. Priyanka Srivastava has a very nice question. Can an economics graduate pursue data science? Please answer. Well, Priyanka, I think it's an amazing question, because be it that you're from an economics background, a finance background, or any other non-technical domain, right? If you have a structured way of learning, if you keep it really slow, if you understand that you can go on to break Python down to very simple terms, I definitely think that no matter what background any one of you all come from here, all of you all can work towards expertise in Python, right? So Priyanka, my answer to that is yes. Catalina says, sorry, joined in a bit late. Anyhow, hello from Chile. Well, Catalina, thank you so much for joining in on our session here at Great Learning. I hope the weather in Chile is fine, because here in Bengaluru, India, it's fantastic today, and we are just about to conclude the session. Catalina, this session is going to be, again, it's going to remain on the Great Learning YouTube channel, so make sure you check it out from the start to gain a plethora of knowledge on this, right? Okay, guys, two more questions. Anjan Musafir says, hi sir, I'm not from a technical background. Can certification help get a job in Python? Anjan, I definitely think it will help you. It'll showcase two important things. One is that you actually have knowledge in the domain. You have learned something new. You have worked on it. You have put in your time and effort to learn, right? You can portray this in your interviews. The second thing, the most important thing, is that a certificate, if you attach it to your resume, it's like providing a proof. It's like saying, hey, I have put in my time to do all of this. I know, I've learned from a prestigious organization, and they have given me a certificate that this person can work with Python programming language or whatever it is, right? That is like a stamp of excellence, which will help you a lot. Perfect. All right, guys, perfect. Thank you so much for all of your comments. As always, you guys are a fantastic audience to teach. It's my pleasure to go on to teach you. I hope everything that we've covered in this session, right from what is Python, why you have to learn Python, the reasons for popularity, the trends of Python, how you should get started with it, all the skills that are needed for you guys to learn, and a guide of what you should do and what you should not do, along with hints of the Python developer salary as well. So I hope with this session, I was able to give you all a good amount of knowledge, right? All right, guys. We've come to the end of this session. Understand one thing: if you're a non-programmer, no matter what domain that you guys are coming in from, mathematics, finance, digital marketing, any non-technical domain, arts, whatever it is, right? If you put in the good amount of time and efforts needed, and if you have a structured learning path, if you have a very good roadmap, definitely all of you all, right? We have 104 people who have joined in here, and guys, I definitely think all of you all can become experts on Python, right? So head to the comment section, just let me know if this session was helpful for you all. If it was, guys, do take a second and hit that like button. It definitely means a lot to us, right? It takes a second to hit that like button. And guys, make sure you guys are subscribed to Great Learning, the YouTube channel, and of course make sure you guys are checking out Great Learning Academy as well, right? On that note, the pandemic is still going on. Please stay safe. Make sure to take all the required precautions and all of that. Stay safe, guys. Tune in to all of our next sessions. I'll see you on the next one. You have a beautiful day ahead. All right, cheers, guys.